Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. So today's date is the 31st of May, and we have a brand new update for MotoGP 21. As on screen right now, you can see that every single rider is updated in the Moto 3 category. Still waiting for Moto 2's category to be updated, but for the time being, Moto 3 finally up to date with all the latest riders, helmets, and liveries for every single rider. It kind of sucks for me because I've just finished the Moto 3 career mode. Of course, the videos are still yet to come up, but unfortunately I will not be able to take advantage of these magnificent liveries within my career mode. So as you can see on screen right now, Pedro Acosta finally rocking his actual helmet, and the livery is now up to date, so everything about Pedro Acosta is bang on. Darren Binder, of course, got the new Riders patch. The helmet is really cool, so I'm really pleased to see that in the game as well. We'll take a look at the Tech 3 KTM team. Very similar to the Akiaya owned team, but this, of course, is the secondary team, and this is, of course, Tech 3, Tech 3 if you're French. And then, of course, Andrea Mino, probably the best-looking livery in Moto 3. I think the Viennese Snipers make an absolutely gorgeous livery, especially with the pink, and then Andrea Mino's orange. So formerly known as Comelin Grassini, we now have the Indonesian Racing Grassini team with Gabriel Rodrigo, all up to date and looking fresh. And of course, Nicolo Antonelli, fresh new look for him on board the Avintia. The bike has stayed more or less to the same what they had in the game already, but of course updated liveries and whatnot. So the Skull Tag rider, Ricardo Rossi, who took the podium in Le Mans, fresh new look for him as well. It's good to be able to use the latest riders. Of course, Sergio Garcia on board the Gas KTM chassis, but basically is just KTM, but the new name is the Gas. And finally, the most difficult one to look at right now, of course, the late great Jason Dupasquier, who had a massive amount of potential. But right now, I've heard people saying that they want him to be removed from the game to pay homage to him. Personally, for me, I would rather keep him in the video game and still be able to use him and let his legacy live on. Once again, though, rest in peace and ride in peace, Jason Dupasquier. So something brand new that I actually didn't expect in this update, I'll be quite frank with you, and that is a controls configuration page. And this is very, very interesting, because a lot of people do want to change their controller settings, the sensitivities, and even the amount of actual pressure you put into the controllers. I think this is extremely exciting, especially for MotoGP, especially now since the game is a lot harder than previous years, and how you have to be so gentle, and you have to be really, really careful with the acceleration. I think this is a fantastic feature that is really underrated. I think MotoGP, well, Milestone in general, should have really put more emphasis on this feature, because this is awesome. This is really, really good. Being able to understand how much pressure to put on the controller, the dead zone for your particular triggers, or even the analog sticks, the feeling of pressure of how much you're putting onto it, the linear sort of feeling of certain points, because especially for myself, I'm very gentle and very sensitive with the controller. If my controller's changed, I know the feeling and I know something's happened. What a great way to come into here, calibrate your controller, make sure everything's up to scratch and up to date, and then you can utilise the best features possible and just absolutely go for it and give 110%. And as you can see right now, we have an in-game calibration preview, and I'm just simply pressing the buttons that correspond to the controls on the screen right now. So you can change the steering, the acceleration, the brakes, the moving the rider weight, how much it impacts, and it really understanding how much trigger you have to pull and how much it comes up on the screen is great for me as a content creator, because I can explain to you how much actual percentage of brake you're going to need. So the last thing on the agenda today is to try out the new Moto 3 machines to see how the liveries look actually on board the bikes and on the track. Of course, in Mugello right now with the race winner, Dennis Foggi, who had a magnificent showing in Mugello. He was absolutely superb. And of course, as you can see, the Gas to our left, and even the Skull Tag rider of Stefano Neppa, all up to date. The Prustal GP team of Ryusa Yamanaka there, looking gorgeous, looking up to date. Dennis Onchu to the right as well. The Tech 3 KTM team, loving it. It's so good to have this up to date. I've been using the entire career mode, all 20 Grand Prix, with the older sort of bikes and the liveries, and I've got to say it's a welcome addition to have the update here today. So the last thing to be updated, of course, is the Moto 2 category, and I do believe that's coming a little bit later on. I do have a community post right here on YouTube in my community section, so if you want to see the actual roadmap of MotoGP 21, you can go onto the community post and find it in there. If not, I will leave you a link in the description so you can then see and understand when's best to finally look and get excited for the Moto 2 updates. We do still have the Moto E update as well yet to come, but I do believe that's coming last after everything else has been fixed. In the future updates, there is going to be the AI picking up the bikes out of the gravel with the bike retrieval feature. I'm very much looking forward to that because in my Moto 3 career mode, I have hit the dirt and another rider might have taken me out, or I've taken him out, and he has literally just dived straight back onto the motorcycle and got back onto the action when I've been suffered by a 30-second drop-off after being dumped into the gravel unceremoniously. So of course, starting from the back of the grid with Dennis Foggia, we got a bit of a wriggle on, and now we're already up into 14th place, going around the outside of Sergio Garcia. We are utilising power setting 3, which might sound strange to you because you might have not seen my Moto 3 career mode, but I did the Moto 3 career mode entirely with power setting 1 after Le Mans, I believe, or actually starting in Le Mans because it was quite too easy. Now I do believe I've heard murmurings of a potential AI update. I don't know whether that's really changed anything, but I did see in the patch notes that the neural AI had been improved. Hopefully it's made the AI a little bit more difficult. I do rather enjoy a good challenge and I don't mind losing, so fingers crossed it's going to be a lot more challenging when I move up to Moto 2 or just in general. But I do feel like there is a lot more feedback within the controller. Now just for reference, I am playing this on PC right now and I'm using a DualShock 4 controller that is hooked up through Steam and I'm playing the game that way. So what you've seen on screen earlier on with that controller layout is actually a PS4 controller, but it does come up with the Xbox 360 sort of numbers. However, just something to mention, that I don't know whether this is a placebo effect after seeing how much pressure I'm putting on the controller, but it does feel like there's a lot more vibration within the controller. Now I've done a lot of Moto 3 this season because of course I'd finished the career mode, I've mentioned it enough times already, and I never felt the same amount of sort of feedback and rumbling in the controller as I'm doing right now, and I must say, it makes the bike feel very powerful. It's a nice feeling to have. I was using the Husqvarna in the championship, but I have used the Hondas and the KTMs before, and it still didn't feel as good as it does right now. It feels really, really nice within the hands right now, so I'm quite pleased to think that whatever update they've done to the controllers has really turned out to be very, very positive for me. This is my first actual race of playing within the update, and so far the feedback is good. The AI seems to be a bit unchanged. I don't really notice anything different. It seems to be that they're all just as competitive, although I am using power setting 3 and usually they tend to struggle to keep up with me, so we'll see. I'm not doing too bad right now. I moved our way up into 6th place. Well, actually I'm doing pretty well because I'm sort of holding back. Just mentioned that, and we cut the corner of Biondetti 2 there, so not the best place to be tooting one's horn. As we now go into the left-hand side for Baccini, we will have one more lap to go at it. Darren Binder and John McPhee, the Petronas Sprinter team, still leading this Grand Prix since the beginning. I do believe Pedro Acosta, Gabriel Rodrigo wanted fancy a chance on the podium as well. We get him behind the Indonesian Racing Honda. Around the outside of him, Dennis Foggia sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Beautiful job for Foggia. We get a little bit too close to the grass there. Otherwise we're going for some lawn mowing there. To the right-hand side now is going to be... oh, not quite. I thought Rodrigo was going to go up the inside. He did go for it anyway as we ran it wide into San Donato. Little bit of a touch onto the Indonesian racing rider. Now going to the left-hand side for Luco. Coming around the outside of Gabriel Rodrigo, you betcha. Right on the rear of Tatsuki Suzuki, coming out of Poggio Secca. Now I'm looking for a move up on the inside of Materassi. We have the inside line to Callahan, and we get it. Now onto the left-hand side for Materassi, coming around the outside of Pedro Acosta. That'd be beautifully done if we can make it stick. The man who's leading the World Championship right now, he's not in the video game though, because Dennis Foggia goes around the outside of Casanova. Can we go over the inside for Savelli as well? The best overtaking possible opportunity ever, and that is here right now in Mugello. Brilliant stuff. We do have the Petronas SRT boys just ahead. The Sepang Racing team are going to be defending as much as they want to, but this Leopard Honda of Dennis Foggia is on the charge, wanting to replicate that performance he did in real life just yesterday. Now onto the brakes of Scarperia, not quite close enough. John McPhee playing a tight line, but we might open the inside here. On the left-hand side for Pelagio, that is a gorgeous move up on the inside. John McPhee didn't even see it coming. Now to tackle Darren Binder going into Correntaio. Can we take the long way round? If we run it a little bit wider here, you can sort of get a nice sweep on him, but we didn't need it. We stayed within the slipstream all the way through there. Biondetti 1 to be navigated. Flick it to the right for Biondetti 2. Had to pick up the motorcycle a little bit there, otherwise we've gone straight into the back of Darren Binder. Where are we going to go for it? I don't fancy him being in my slipstream, so I don't fancy going for a lunge just yet. We'll go into Baccini, try and stick with Darren Binder, stick with the South African, And when the time is right, it'll be into the slipstream, it'll be full systems go, we're going to be alongside each other. That's not ideal, we need the extra slipstream to make sure we get past. Honda versus Honda, who's it going to be across the line? Going to be neck and neck, it's going to be a photo finish. Foggia wins! Foggia does the business in Mugello. Brilliant finish, I was not expecting that for this MotoGP 21 update video, but there you go. Got a bit entertaining towards the end. 40,000 of a second, we win with Dennis Foggia. But guys, I guess that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment and subscribe if you did enjoy. Hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload. And upon that note guys, thanks for watching and ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.